Hey, what up everybody? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Gems of War on PS4. And today we're going to be going over the Guild Wars Red team that I use, and also a team for the Cryptkeeper faction event for today, Tuesday, May 4th, I think? 5th. Yeah, 5th. So, my red team is terrible. It's my worst team, but we made it through. We went 5-0. I know I'm giving up the ghost already, but yeah, so I wanted to show you this team just in case you have nothing else you can use. But it's Ragnagord, Yalgway, Queen Titania, Dawnbringer. I was using something similar, but not quite the same previous, and it was like getting destroyed. I was going like 2-3, 3-2, 4-1. I was not winning very good. I lost my Paragon because of this team. I went like 5-0 on every other day except for Red Day. Then I went like 3-2 on Red Day, and I lost my Paragon. I have a pretty good guild. Well, there's like 5 of them in my guild that could probably keep up with me in Guild Wars. So there's a lot of competition. Some good people in my guild. Andy and Coco and Vlad even. And I don't want to say a bunch of people's names because then I'll forget some people. But Clicky, there's a bunch of people that are pretty good in my guild. So they'll go 5-0 all week, score like whatever 54,000 or whatever, get over 9,000 each day, and go 5-0 every single day. And so if I slip up at all, then I'm not going to be the Paragon. So I slipped up. I went 5-0 every day except for one, which was Red Day, and then I went 3-2 on that day. And I think I've gotten worse before. Like, I've been doing pretty lousy lately, but today was okay, so I thought I'd show it to you. If I had done terrible, to be honest with you, I probably would not be showing you Guild Wars right now, but since I didn't do terrible, and it wasn't live, if I had the guts, I would go live on I don't envy Tacet, man. Like he goes live on every Guild Wars. What if he has like a terrible day and goes like 2-3? So he's got a lot of guts doing that, and I have some respect for him. I always have though. So you're not gonna come here and get Tacet bashing, because I've always watched Tacet and appreciated his content. So Ragnagord explodes 32 gems of a chosen color. I don't think I chose the color very well on this first spell, but going forward I do. And actually, I think the first battle was the most shaky battle. But what you want to do with this team, it's typically it's like your Yalgway, Queen Titania type team, pretty much. But since you can't use Taipan because Taipan is blue and green, I think, and you have to use red on every troop. You can't use him, so you have to use Ragnagord. And since you're using Ragnagord, you need to use Dawnbringer. And Flamifier is brown and yellow, I think, so you can't use Flamifier. So you got to find a way to use red on every color, every troop. I used to use like what was I using on my Red Day? It was like a Alchemist, Dawnbringer, Infernus, Divina or something like that, and it was working for a couple months, like really well, and then it dropped off the face of the earth like all of a sudden. I think we were in like bracket 4, and then we went up to bracket 3, and it was just not working there. So it really depends where you are in Guild Wars. If you're down in bracket 10, you could probably use whatever and win. Maybe not whatever, but certain teams will get you by and go 5-0 and be fine. It just depends where you are. If you're in bracket 1, maybe none of my teams would work at all if I'm in bracket 1. But we're never in bracket 1, so I think the highest we've ever been is bracket 2. But that's another factor that you gotta think about. It's where you are. If you're in bracket 1, your teams are going to have to be spot on, the best teams in the game. Meta, look at this here. I thought I was going to lose. My first troop there is all tangled up with every debuff there is, and all I have is my hero, but luckily my hero had full health, a barrier, Dawnbringer, so looks like we're going to pull it out here. But I was worried. On the first battle, I'm like, man, I'm going to need to switch it up already. It's only the first battle. And I had to have lost a ton of points here, because I lost 2 troops, didn't have any kind of summon to summon them back in. They did a ton of damage to me. It took me forever. Didn't finish fully charged, you know, like all these things. So the first battle was very shaky, very shaky. Using Sun Spear for that Firestorm. I think I'm going to switch out of that, though. I think what I need to do to make this team a little bit better is I need to get to level 100 on Sunspear and Diabolist. That would help a lot. I mean, man, it might not help a lot, but it would help at least a little bit. Because maybe some of the talents above where I'm at, like on Sunspear, I'm only like level 20 or 30 or something, so I'd only get like the 40, the 70, and the 100. So if none of those are going to help significantly, then it might not make the team that much better. And then on Diabolist, I think I'm like level 50 or something, so if 70 and 100 don't have something good on it that could help this team, then that's probably not going to help. But it's something to think about. Like, you can improve this team above what I've got it at, because I'm not using it to its full advantage. Jeez, I can't even... Anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't even know if I have the mic right now. Interruptions. Yeah, so talent tree. I don't even have either one of these leveled to 100. I need to get one of the two leveled to 100. I'm almost about to stop leveling Monk and start trying to level up either Sunspear or Diabolist, because it seems like you need a Firestorm quite a bit these days. With Guild Wars Red, there's another team. I think the Phoenicia Trophy team uses it. The Ferocity team I was using the other day for Delves. Like, there's a bunch of teams that need a Firestorm on the start of every turn. And Diabolist and Sunspear are the two that do that. There might be another one, but those are the two I know of. And I have neither one of them leveled to 100 yet, so I may need to just take a break on Monk, even though I'm getting so close, and go after one of those two. Same thing with like Frost Mage and Tidecaller, I think. They have something you need as well. Like, you need to pick... There's certain classes that you need to level to 100 in a certain order, and I don't know that order. I need to start thinking about it, though. Like, I've always thought, well, you do Titan, you do like... I used to be Titan, then Thief, and then Sentinel, and then like Plague Lord came along, and then now Monk's here, and those are some of the ones you would want to level up. But if you're thinking about which ones you use the most, it doesn't exactly have to be the best ones. If you think about which classes you use the most, then you would level something with the Firestorm, something with the, I don't know, a Freeze, something with each different storm, something you're going to use. Like, I see in my Guild Wars, I use Tidecaller on my Defend, Frost Mage, Sunspear, Diabolist. Like, there's these classes that maybe aren't top 10, maybe aren't top 5, but you use them more than classes that are better than them. So that's how you could decide to level up certain classes. Like today, I need a Firestorm, and I don't have a class that can do it that's at 100. All I have is one is Sunspear and Diabolist, which are, 50 at best, only halfway. But once again, I lost my first troop here, going up against the Gob Truffle. Hopefully we can come back. We did. We killed their first troop. They missed on their Gob Truffle. So as long as the other team doesn't go crazy and get a bunch of extra turns, I seem to be fine, usually, on any of my teams. And I switched to Diabolus before this battle, so that's why we got a Nightmare getting summoned in. So I actually saved myself some points there by switching. Because now I have a summon. It's only a 25% summon, but it's like every time you cast, if you have a troop die, unfortunately, and then after that, every time you cast, you have a 25% chance to summon a Nightmare back into that slot, which will save you some points. If you end the battle and don't have that slot filled in, you lose points. If you end the battle and you somehow get the Nightmare, the 25% chance, then you, I don't know whether you gain points or not, but you don't lose points at least. Pretty sure. And I saw somewhere that it takes like 30 turns before you lose points, as far as, you know, the quickness of the battle. Or 30 moves or something. Can't remember where I saw that. I think it was on, somebody was saying it in Tacet's stream. Like one of the commenters, one of the people commenting on there. Something about 30 turns is when you start losing points. If you go over that, 30 moves. I don't know if a move is like an extra turn or what. We got a brown extra turn. I was thinking whether I should take the brown or the green. Took the brown and got the green again anyway. So that was a good choice. You want to get Ragnagord up as quick as possible, because then he can get anybody else up. So if you can get Ragnagord up first, then he can start working on getting somebody else up, whether it's Yagwe or Dawnbringer or even Queen Titania. And then with Queen Titania, you got to have 13 red or more before you cast her, because that's the best way to cast her. You don't want to cast her if you don't have 13 or more red, because then she won't get the extra turn. And with the Yagwe, you want to make sure you have alignment. You got to have red-purple alignment. You got to be able to turn purple into red and get an extra turn. If you don't have all those conditions, then cast something else. Usually Dawnbringer. But that's how this team works. You get up Ragnagord first. That's your #1 goal. You cast Ragnagord. Hopefully get up Yagwe or Dawnbringer with that cast. So hopefully there's a bunch of green you can explode, or a bunch of yellow or blue or whatever. You don't want to explode red or purple, because you want to keep as much red and purple on the board as possible. Even though if you're exploding a bunch, you're probably going to explode the whole board anyway, but I don't like to explode red or purple because just it feels like I'm getting rid of an alignment if I do that, but it's probably not true. But I do like to, whatever the most abundant color is what you want to explode, because then you're going to blow up the whole board and get the most mana. But I usually exclude red and purple in that formula. So I'll take brown or green or yellow or blue, any of those. Whatever one has the most out of those is what I'll explode. And I'm getting better and better with this team as we go, like today, right here. I haven't used this team. This is probably the 5th, 6th, maybe 10th time I've used this team. I was still using the Alchemist and Furnace, whatever team, like 5, 6 battles ago. Guild Wars battles ago. I started using this last week, and I even lost with this last week, so I was still on the fence about it. Now we did okay this week, so maybe I'll give it another week. That's usually how I do Guild Wars evaluation. I'll go a whole week, and a team will not do very well, and I'll say, well, if it doesn't do well again next week, then I'm going to switch my teams up. So I give it like another week. I don't totally switch up, unless it goes like 2 and 3 or something crazy. Like, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. We're facing Tina, so gonna be some spell damage mitigation going on, but hopefully we can overcome that. Facing the tougher enemies in their guild at this point. I think we're on the 4th battle. So yeah, get up Ragnagord. That way you can explode the whole board and get up somebody else. And then usually that's like either Yagwe or Dawnbringer. If it's Yagwe, you gotta see, do I have alignment? Do I have purple-red alignment? Can I turn purple into red and get an extra turn. And if that's not true, then you move to Dawnbringer and you cast that. Then you have barrier on everybody. Your Dawnbringer like makes a red gem. Hopefully that creates the alignment you need, but probably not. You'll probably have to do Ragnagord again, blow up the board again, hopefully get alignment after that. If you still don't have alignment, then you're probably going to lose. You have like 2 chances to get alignment, or it's too late, pretty much. That's usually how this team goes. If you don't get Yagway alignment in 2 Ragnagord explosions, you're probably going to lose. And if you don't get Queen Titania off your Yagway at least once out of 2 or 3 tries, that's another kind of factor that you have to think about. But you can usually tell if you're going to win or not with this team. Usually, for me, it's like the beginning of the battle. You can usually tell how the battle is going to go. Your starting board, and then do you get an extra turn or not? Does the enemy get a bunch of extra turns on their first turn? You can usually tell after those first three things. Like, this is not going to go well. The enemy, I got nothing on my starting board. I didn't get any extra turns. And then the enemy got like 5 extra turns in a row, and they're totally full. Their whole team's ready to go, fully charged. Then you know you're in for some trouble. You're probably going to lose. And that has nothing to do with your skill at all. Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes you go into a Guild Wars battle with that Paragon, and you got the worst board ever. Nothing you need. No extra turns. Nothing going on at all. Your convert's not there. The color you need's not there. No extra turns. And then you take some sort of mana. You don't get a surge. And then it's their turn. They make a move. They get 50,000 extra turns. They're fully charged, their whole team. They start casting on you. They do major damage. It's your turn again. You take something. You don't get a mana surge. You don't get an extra turn. It's their turn again. They still have 3 people fully charged. They hit you again. One of your guys dies. That's usually how it goes if you're going to lose. Usually it's just luck of the draw as far as starting board, extra turns, and enemies extra turn and converts and all that. And that's why people set their teams up the way they do, with the empowered converts and canceling out certain colors and all that stuff, all that good stuff. Summons, disables. Just saying words now. What else did I want to talk about? What is today? Tuesday? So Guild Wars today, I guess. I didn't even know what I was going to do today. I just recorded my Guild Wars thinking, if I don't do too bad, I'll put this out. If I do horrible, then I'll just do the Cryptkeeper Faction Assault, which I do show at the end of this if you still want to see that. But it's kind of easy because it's the same thing as Friday, the Depths of Sin. Same exact colors. So I show a team, and then I show the team from Friday. So, and I don't even really show the first team. I just start messing with it, and then I don't really use it, and then I go with the Ferocity team, because that team worked really well. Better than I thought it would. On Friday, I was just making stuff up on the fly, and happened to be a good team. I went the whole way with it. I went the whole way, got all the rewards, all 16 stages. That's not easy. That's not hard, but that's not easy either. It took a long time to do that. And Frosty was still going strong at the end, so it might be able to go to 500, I don't know. But it got to like 300, and it was still kicking. And I even tried switching it up a little bit. Like, oh, this team probably isn't going to go the whole way, so I'm going to have to figure something out. So I started messing around with it. Moved to like a Ketris, Yasmin's Pride. But then that actually lost a troop and was really slow and wasn't working as well. So I was like, screw this, I'm going back to Ferocity. And then I tried Cunning, which is the purple Guardian troop. So I got 9,211, which is a solid score. It's not amazing, but it's not average either. It's like good. I would take that every day, I guess. If I could get a 9200 every day, and lock it in at the beginning of the week, I would probably lock that in, because that would be a solid 5500. Obviously you can get up to like 95, 96, 97, but I would take a solid 92 every day if I could lock it in at the beginning of the week, you know? Here we are in bracket 3, we're like halfway, we're like in the middle of the pack in bracket 3. And here's the faction assault for Cryptkeeper. I had a weird team. I don't know what I was doing here. I think I was just trying to have fun and use Queen Aurora and Megavore. And it says Sentinel, so that was a long time ago, because I was leveling Sentinel a really long time ago. That was probably like the 3rd class I leveled up. But you can use Ketris the Bull. That's what I was saying there. You can use Ketris the Bull if you want. Do like a Yasmin's Pride, Ketris, Leprechaun. Or a Mountain Crusher, Ketris, Leprechaun. Something like that. Or a Mountain Crusher, Ketris, Gargoyle, Leprechaun. You can do stuff like that. You can do Mountain Crusher, Gargoyle, Leprechaun. You can do Divinish Bala, Moon Rabbit, Quillin, Rope Dart. You can do your yellow Guild Wars team, I think, which would be Doomed Axe. I don't know if you can do that. You can use whatever weapon you want, right, in Delves? So Doomed Axe, Divinish Bala, Quillin, and Gorgatha. So be Gorgatha. No, you can't use Gorgatha on this team. I don't know. Anyway, I was trying to make a different team. Once again, I'm just going to go with the Ferocities. You could probably do something with Divinish Bala, Moon Rabbit, Quillin, Rope Dart, something like that, if you want. But I wasn't about to switch my stuff up. If it's working, it's working, you know? Why would you switch something up if it's working? It's not like... I mean, making teams is fun, sometimes. But sometimes, you just want to get the event done. Like, I've done Cryptkeeper before. Delves aren't the funnest thing in the world. I already know a team, so why wouldn't I use it and just get it done? Get the orbs, because what's fun to me is getting Zul'Goth. That's what's fun to me right now. So if I can just get the event done, give you guys a team that you can use. Oh, and the other weapon is Rage Reaver right there. So I see it there for our next team. Rage Reaver. Somebody suggests, I think Crazy Border commented and said, I think he said Rage Reaver. But to be honest, it worked as good as Flammifier, but not better in my opinion. Like he said it, I don't know. It wasn't better, I don't think, but it wasn't worse either. It was different, and it was about the same, in my opinion. The Flammifier seemed to spawn more red gems, but the Rage Reaver was better for, like, putting your hero at the front and, I don't know, doing a little more damage and using your hero as a tank. So they're both about the same, in my opinion. Flammifier did more red, kind of helped the Ferocities more. Was a targeted damage. Went well with the class. Rage Reaver can do a little bit more damage. You can put your hero at the front if you need a tank. I don't know. It also does red. But I feel like, and you can do Tauros. I think it's Tauros. It goes with the Ferocities. Like, I see what he was thinking, but I was just sticking with what was working. Flammifier was working. It seemed to do a little bit more red than the Rage Reaver. So I don't know. I went back to the Flammifier, but I did try it, dude, and I think it's fine. It's a good. I appreciate it because it did work. It was working fine. It didn't lose or anything. It was working just as good as Flammifier, but I just prefer Flammifier is all. I'd rather get the ferocities up faster and everything. So I'm going to use Diabolus this time. Sunspear has a Firestorm on its 3rd trait, so it's easier if you have both classes on not leveled at all, like level 1, level 5, level 10, level 0, whatever. If you have Sunspear and Diabolus both not leveled at all, then use Sunspear, because all you have to do is fully trade it. It doesn't have to be leveled at all. If you have both to like 40 or 50, then use Diabolus, because Diabolus also has a Firestorm, but it's on like its level 40 talent. So you have to have it leveled a little bit, but I think it's a little bit better. Especially with the Guild Wars team. Maybe not with this, but with the Guild Wars team, because you get that summon. So with the all red Guild Wars team, where you need a Firestorm, you can choose between Sunspear and Diabolus. If you're not all the way to level 100 on both of them, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Diabolus has a summon. That's why I used it on the Guild Wars team. I'm using it here because I need to level one of the two to 100, and I'm further along on Diabolus, so that's basically why. They're both about the same. Sunspear is easier for people that have neither one leveled, because you can just fully trait Sunspear and get the Firestorm at the start of every turn. While Diabolus, you have to level to 40. So you need one of those two, though. That's what I found out today, yesterday, day before. Probably starting on Friday. Probably thinking about it sooner than that. You need either Sunspear or Diabolus leveled to 100. But that doesn't mean that either one of them is a top 10. I think Sunspear maybe, could be. I think it's in the conversation. But let's say neither one of them are top 10. You still need to level one of them to 100 because it has the Firestorm at the start of every turn, which you need for certain teams. So does that make it top 10 because you need it for certain teams? In my opinion, yes, it does. One of those two has to be top 10. Unless there's another one that has Firestorm that I'm not thinking of that's better. I think that's what I base my top 10 classes on, is how usable they are. Not how... Because if you have let's say Titan, Sentinel, Monk, whatever, Plague Lord, and they all do the same thing, and you can use Titan, and it makes the other three irrelevant, because they all do the same thing, but Titan does it a little bit better, does that still mean that Monk, Plague Lord, and Sentinel are in the top 10? Because they're almost as good as the best class? Or would, like, Sunspear, Diabolist, Frost Mage, Tidecaller, Thief, would they be in the top 10? Because you need them for certain teams, for certain things they have. You could say, I don't know why I'm all on this today, by the way. It's just something that I thought of, so now I want to discuss it with myself, and hopefully you guys comment below. So what makes a class a top 10 class, basically? Is it like, okay, Titan and Sentinel, they both are pretty much the same, except for Titan's a little bit better. Does that make Titan number 1 and Sentinel number 2? Or does that mean Sentinel's not a top 10 because you can use Titan? And then you should put something else in the top 10 because you need it for a certain team for something that it has, like Firestorm, or Submerge, or Freeze, or Ice Storm, or whatever. Leaf Storm. Because I've been needing a Firestorm a lot lately, with the Phoenicia team, with the Ferocity team, with the Flammifier team, with Yagway, with Queen Titania, with Red Guild Wars. Like, I've been needing a Firestorm a lot lately. Does that mean that Sunspear or Diabolus is better than Sentinel, or Plague Lord, or Thief, or Monk, or... You know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean. Trying to say, if two classes are super similar, but one of the classes is the best class in the game, Does that mean that super similar class to the best class in the game should be number 2, 3, 4, 5? Should be in the top 5 because it's similar to the best one? Or should we put something else in the top 5 that is different that we need? Because you don't really need that troop. You don't really need that class if it's super similar to the best class, because you can just use the best class. So, that's basically what I'm saying. Do you put the class in the top 5 that's super similar to the best class? When, if you can choose between the two, you're always going to pick the best class, so that other class is pretty much irrelevant, because you can always just pick Titan. So is that other one that's super similar to Titan, is it in the top 5 because it's similar to the best class in the game? Or should you put that just out of the top 10 because you're never going to use it? You need a Firestorm, you need Thief, you need Summons, you need a Freeze, you need Frost Mage, you need you know? You need Monk. It has all the you can't be debuffed as much, whatever. I don't know how to say it. Monk has all the protections against debuffs. So then you could say maybe Titan's the best, and then Monk, and then whatever. Thief, Plague Lord, Sun Spear. Anyway. Almost at the end of the video here. You can use Ferocity, 3 Ferocities and a Flamifier again. And you can use my Red Guild Wars team. Hopefully if you're in a lower bracket than me, you'll do better than me. I've just been having trouble lately, so I switched to that red team, and it worked today. I went 5-0 and got 9,200, so I'm happy with that. But, like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.